Hey everybody. So I wanted to sit down and just kind of have a chat with y'all. This is going to be kind of not a very upbeat video. So if you don't want to hear anything sad or depressing, this is probably not the video for you. But I want to kind of explain like what was going on in the month of February, why I was kind of absent from YouTube, not really making videos. A lot was happening that month. February was the 1 year anniversary of my mom's passing, and me and my mom were very, very close. And um, it was hard when she passed. Like it hit me, my sister, and my brother like pretty hard because there was a lot of unanswered questions. We feel like the hospital definitely did not handle her very well. They kind of just stuck her in a room and was like, oh, she has a cold, and left her there. And that was not the case at all. It actually turned out that she had sepsis, which is a blood poisoning that you can also get from staph. We knew that. I mean, she was sick, but it wasn't like a life-threatening illness. She had had a UTI, and she kept going to the doctor because they were trying to figure out why she was having the UTI, why she was having the stomach problems and things like that. And like the doctor would be like, oh, it's probably your acid reflux. You probably have ulcers, things like that. So she was going to go see a gastrologist to see if she had any stomach ulcers or anything. But she just was like feeling bad one day, and she's like, I got to go to the hospital. So she gets up. I asked her, I was like, do you want me to go with you? And she's like, no, no, it's fine. You stay here, but I need to go to the hospital. So she drives herself to the hospital. She's there at the hospital. We're texting back and forth throughout the day. She calls me, and it was like, telling me, well, they're doing some blood work, blah, blah, blah. I'll see you later. Love you. Completely normal conversations. And my aunt was actually, when my aunt got off work, my aunt went up there with her and was sitting with her. And later on that night, my aunt was like, okay, well, I got to go pick up Sherry, but I'll be right back. And it was no more than like a 15-minute trip to go get my cousin and then bring her back to the hospital with my aunt. So by the time my aunt gets back to the hospital, they're like in my mom's room trying to resuscitate her. And like within that 15 minutes of my aunt being gone, my mom passed. And we were so confused. We were like, how did she die? She went in there for a UTI and her stomach hurting, and she died. How did that happen? And that's whenever they showed us that, it turned out that she had sepsis. And my other aunt, who was also my mom's sister, is a nurse practitioner. And we were able to get all the medical records, and my aunt went through them, and she was like, you know, why did they just put her in that room? They should have put her in a more intensive care area because she was going into shock. Your mother was going into shock. There was something, causing her to, I guess her body to like not, I don't know. All I know is she was going into shock. So me and my sister and my brother were stuck with a lot of unanswered questions. We were just not willing to accept, oh, she had sepsis and she died. Like something had to have been going on for her to get sepsis. So we are getting like all of her medical records and everything and going back and back and back and looking and looking and looking. So as we're going through all my mom's medical records, my aunt, who is the nurse practitioner, happens to notice that my mom's lapis levels are low. I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right. But anyway, it has something to do with your kidney function. Well, as we're going through these, we're looking to see if she had any like referrals or anything like that to go see a doctor about her kidneys. And we can't find anything. We're like digging through these papers, digging and digging, digging. We really ain't seeing anything. We see where like later on it was written like in scribble writing, like referred to blah, 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 who was a kidney doctor, which I don't know the medical term for a kidney doctor. That's why I keep saying kidney doctor. But anyway, so that I'm not dragging this video on, my mom was having kidney failure. That's what was causing the UTI. That's what was causing her to go into sepsis and have the septic shock. And we didn't even know this. And we were like dumbfounded. We were like, well, did she even know? Like, no. Like, if she knew, she would tell us. She would say something, to me, to Michelle, to Brandon, to one of us. So here we are, we're thinking like she didn't know. Like, she didn't know, like, the doctor screwed up, somebody messed up, which we still think the doctor screwed up. So when it came to the issue about my mom's car and what to do with my mom's car, she had got the car through CarMax, so we kind of thought, oh, well, CarMax will want it back. So we need to, notify them so they can come pick up the car. Well, they didn't want the car. And here's the reason why, and I find this so hilarious. My mom had filed bankruptcy, and on her bankruptcy, she had the car. And when she passed, the lawyer basically said that, okay, she's passed, so her bankruptcy is null and void. So it basically washes everything. So technically, the car is paid for. CarMax knows this, but they're not telling us this. And they're refusing to give us the title or anything. They're like, oh, well, you can bring the car to us. And my sister's like, no, I'm not doing that. It has no tag and it has no insurance. I'm not going to drive a car around illegally and get pulled over and get a ticket and then have to pay more money out. Like, it would cost y'all no more than $100 to get a tow truck and come pick it up. Or, pretty sure they even have tow services that they use. But they're basically like, no, we're not going to come get the car. It's not worth our time. It's not worth our money. Blah, blah, blah. So my sister starts checking into these things. Turns out that the reason they wanted her to bring the car is because then they can say, oh, she abandoned the car, and then they can get the car back and basically resell it again. But basically, to end up that whole story is my sister went through the courts and got the title for it, and now the car is legally ours. Back to my mom's passing, because I know I kind of got sidetracked on the tangent about the car. Back to my mom's passing, as we were looking for the papers for the car to, show to the courts and show where my mom was paying on it and where she filed it on her bankruptcy and where the lawyer had basically said that everything that was on her bankruptcy is basically a wash and she owes nothing and that nobody can come after me, my sister, or my brother saying that we owe money on her behalf or anything like that. So, as we're going through these papers, and mind you, we have gone through these papers 100 times just to make sure we had everything. We find a paper just nicely tucked between two other pieces of paper that we have looked at 100 times and never once saw this piece of paper. And it was her appointment sheet for the kidney doctor. And we're like, well, did she go to that appointment? Well, where did this piece of paper come from? It wasn't with none of her other medical papers, blah, blah, blah. And Michelle calls that doctor and is like, yes, I need to get the medical records for, my mom. And she gives my mom's name. And they tell her, well, we don't have anything. Your mom had that appointment, but she never showed up for it. So we're kind of just stuck with thinking that my mom knew she was dying. She knew she had kidney problems, and she did not want to suffer through all the dialysis that it would have took to keep her alive. Her mom actually worked in dialysis. So, she knows what it means to have to go through dialysis. And, they can put her on the list for a kidney transplant, but there's no telling when that would be. It could take years. So we were kind of stuck with wondering, well, did she know? And a few days later, my sister came to me and she's like, I had a dream about my mom. Or, I had a dream about mom. And I asked her what it was about. And she's like, me and mom were just sitting there talking, and mom was holding some papers like this, like close to her chest. Like she didn't want Michelle to see them. And Michelle's like, well, Mom, why didn't you tell us that you had an appointment to see a kidney doctor? Why didn't you tell us there was something wrong with your kidneys? And she's like, I didn't want anybody to know. And that was kind of just it. That was the end of the dream. Just my mom saying, I didn't want anybody to know. So it's been, knowing what we know now throughout this whole year, from the time that she passed till now, and dealing with, you know, doctors and lawyers and medical records and, just the strife of having to get the medical records. And here's a word of advice. If you look, I don't know about other states, so I'm applying this solely to Columbus, Georgia. If you are a child of a parent who has both your parents have passed, you are legally allowed to get them medical records. If they tell you about, oh, well, but the HIPAA law, no, that's bullshit. If you are the only living child of your parents, and both your parents have passed, you by law legally can get their medical records. I mean, it's just been, February was a hard month. Like I said, it was the 1-year anniversary of my mom's passing. And I think all them emotions just kind of started bubbling up. And then there was other things in my life going on. So it was hard. And I just didn't want to film. I didn't really want to do anything. And I know it sounds like a big excuse, but I just wanted to apologize for not doing videos and not being around. If any of you have ever lost a parent, y'all know how hard it is. The pain never goes away. You never get over it. So when somebody says, oh, time will heal your wounds. Time will heal your wounds. All I'm going to say, bullshit. My dad's been gone for almost, I think, 5 years now. And I still miss him every day. I miss his laugh. I miss his smile. I miss sitting there watching Doctor Who with him. So, no, it doesn't pass. With my mom, I miss going shopping with her. I miss sitting there just chit-chatting with her about just whatever. I miss everything about her, and I miss her every day. And when life's struggles start happening, that's whenever I miss her the most. Because I'm like, if my mom was here, she would tell me what to do. She would know what to do. She could help me. And I don't have that anymore. Sorry, I'm getting a little emotional. But I just wanted to talk about that, talk a little bit about my mom's passing, and just how it affected me, and then how it's been since it's been a year since she's passed. And it really doesn't seem like it's been that long since she's passed, but this video is getting pretty long. So thank you for watching. I promise I have more upbeat videos than this. I have a lot of shoe unboxings and jewelry stuff and favorites videos, and then even one gaming video if y'all want to watch a gaming video. So sorry this video was very depressing. I just wanted to get that stuff out there and kind of explain why I was gone kind of for the month of February, why I was like MIA and just not doing any videos. It was just a hard month. Anyway, please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys later, and love you all. Bye.